We're in session in cause number 329938, case of style of state of Texas versus Derek Wayne Bro. Mr. Bro, would you come forward with your attorney? Yeah, Mr. Bro, your full name is Derek Wayne Bro?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bro?
Okay.
You doing okay? All right, that's good. Now, Mr. Bro, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux. Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
That's good. Mr. Boudreaux, Mr. Bro's case is on the court's announcement document. What is your announcement?
Judge, I don't know if you remember, I got appointed, this is an old case, I got appointed at the end of October of this year, of 2021.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes and I have been talking about it. We have come up with a tentative offer to allow him to enter a plea of no contest and to pay a fine and court costs, and the case would be dismissed.
Not a fine. You must be talking about restitution or something.
It would be a plea bargain for a fine only.
Oh, it's a plea bargain for a fine only. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, how much time does he need to get the money for the fine and court costs?
With what the DA is recommending as far as the fine goes, we would need about possibly about 90 days. So
Okay,
this is only the first setting as far as
That's fine.
I'm concerned.
so you need 90 days, Mr. Bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna reset his case, 90 days for a plea,
Yes,
is
sir.
that correct? It's on Derek Bro.
You want to give him 321?
321? Okay, so your case is gonna be reset to March, so that's close to 90 days, it's not?
That's not 90 days?
No, this is January, February, March. It would be April.
Oh, yes, it would be. So
Okay. Let's do 411.
Okay, so your case is gonna be reset to April 11th
yes, sir.
of 2022 to give you opportunity to get the money to pay your fine and court costs. Mr. Bro, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Boudreaux, you can stand on the X in front of the court coordinator, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Our next case is cause number 329834, case of style of state of Texas versus Courtney Lynn Sherry. Ms. Sherry, your name is Courtney Lynn Sherry.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sherry, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Sherry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How you doing, Ms. Sherry? I'm doing fine. Ms. Sherry, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Your Honor.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Sherry, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document alleges that on or about March 28 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance. Ms. Sherry, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sherry, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Ms. Sheriff, there are a set of initials CS on the line next to a box that's checked. Guilty. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And there are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to the appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I also have a document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Sherry, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections? No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Ms. Sherry, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Very competent.
Ms. Sherry, your attorney, Attorney Cole has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sherry, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 1 year of deferred probation, a $1,000 fine, and 60 hours of community service.
Okay. Ms. Sherry, the state is offering that you serve, that you be given state is offering that you serve 1 year on deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $457. The total fine and court cost is $1,457. You will also be required to pay a $100 reimbursement crime fee. You will be required to pay $60 each month while you're on probation for a probation fee. And you'll be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County $250 for the court-appointed attorney's fees. Now, the total of monthly installments that you'll be required to pay, that is the total amount that you will have to pay each month, is $230 a month. Will you be able to pay the $230 a month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Sherry, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Sherry, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Sherry, if you successfully complete your deferred probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Sherry, stand on the X next to your attorney. You follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Giles, I think once, you have another one?
Michael Garrett, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll get to that after she.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, we have, Kevin. One more. Let's see. Walls.
And call if I can get you to phone. Get your raise your right hand. Do you swear you have never been convicted or given deferred adjudication of regular probation for a misdemeanor, a felony in this state or any other state? And that you have no pending charges of an that you're aware of?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork, once you leave here, you're gonna report straight to the probation office. And that map is gonna be the rest of them. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You want to have a good day.
Mr. Bailey, could you call Michael Gills? Okay, we'll give you some time to, contact your client.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is not like him. I've dealt with him before.
Okay, he could appear in person by Zoom or telephone
Yes,
if he doesn't have the capability to appear on Zoom. Okay,
thank you.
let's see.
Am I excused, John?
Yes,
You have a great day.
all right.
Mr. Cole, you have our.
Mr.
Michael Garrett?
I think he's appeared on Zoom before.
When they were looking for I'm okay, bye. I think he's supposed to come with Jim.
So is it a resistant case?
Mr. Bailey, would you please get, Kyler Thomas?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who?
The court is in session and calls number 329872. The case is styled as State of Texas versus Kyler James Thomas. Mr. Kyler Thomas, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Kyler James Thomas?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Thomas?
Right.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Thomas, you represented by your attorney Charles McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh is appearing on Zoom. Mr. McIntosh? He must not be available. Mr. McIntosh? Okay, just have a seat. He must have stepped away. Just have a seat on in chairs that have the black and yellow tape on it. Sit behind the wall. Let's see. Author. Moore. The court will be in recess.